Hello Steelers, and welcome to this bench report. Slightly later than I was hoping for, but still it's here. The reason it's been late is because I have been working for the last 2 days, Saturday and Sunday, on some community excavations that I set up earlier this year on some trenches that we think are either First World War or possibly earlier as well. We're not entirely sure, but we're trying to make our minds up at the moment, and the evidence is scant, and so far we're left scratching our heads, but that's for another day. Just before we start, I do want to mention again, if you are watching this and you're not subscribed to the channel, please do subscribe to the channel. I know I keep saying it, but if I say it now, I do notice my subscribers go up, and that's simply because YouTube will always put my videos in front of people if you've watched even one of them. If you're subscribed, you will then also get them as they come out as well, because YouTube will just show you any random one. So do subscribe, and it just benefits you. It also benefits the channel growth as well. So, and again, you know, thank you for everybody who does subscribe anyway. So this week really has been relatively quiet, to be honest, because I've been quite busy doing other bits and pieces of work and things like that around, so I've not been around too much. But I managed to get another 3D printed building painted, which you should be seeing on the screen now. So that's another one. I think I've now only got about 6 of these left, of these particular type. I do mean to make a video about these, about how I go around painting them, and I will do a video of them, and I will make sure that it is done soon. So that's going to be something before I run out of them, if nothing else. I've also been working on some American supports as well for O Group, because I finished off the American battalion units, the infantry units, but they needed the support, so they needed some MMGs, they needed some mortars, 60mm mortars, other bits and pieces, specifically for the Normandy 44 guidebook, but also just because, you know, they need them anyway as part of the rules. So I just want to have a bit of a scope for these. So I managed to get some figures in from Peter Pig this week. I got in some guns, some 105mm guns, 57mm guns, and I also worked off the Plastic Soldier Company's heavy supports for the Americans as well, which I got a couple of weeks ago. So I put those together, and I've just basically done a selection of bits and pieces that I'll use, because I could use these in chain of command as well. Probably not the big guns, but the 57mm and everything smaller than that can be used easily in chain of command. So it just adds a little bit to, you know, the usage of these things. The 105 guns, I'm not entirely sure. I'm only using those for O Group, and that is only going to be for to show the artillery support. But I finished those off. I was quite happy with those. In other news, in the post, I got a copy of this, the Tank Corps in the Great War, by Stephen Pope. This has just been published by Helium. I had a bit of spare money, so I thought I'll pay for this now. It's not cheap, and it is volume 1 of 8. I think 8 of these that are coming that Stephen is currently writing, but it looks absolutely packed with information in here. This is the first one. This is the conception, birth and baptisms of fire, November 14 to November 16. So this will be covering the development of the tank and also its first use in the Battle of the Somme in 1916. What is really good about this, and probably why it's a little bit pricier, is that you also get a map book with it, which is excellent, I think. And it's about, I don't know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 maps in here, full colour, just to show you those there. And what is brilliant about that, and it's something that I wish other companies actually did, is the fact that you can now refer to the map by your side while you're actually reading the book as well. So that just makes it a lot easier, because sometimes, you know, when they have maps actually embedded in the text or whatever, it's just hard to flick back and forwards between the text and between the map, and it can be quite confusing. Also, the maps themselves are pretty detailed. There's most of the big villages and towns that are marked on these things as well, and tons of units marked on those as well, so they're very clear, very concise. And as I say, I've not yet dived into this, but I am looking forward to it. But it does look like a huge amount of work that Stephen's put into it. 400 odd pages, no, 384 pages of of actual writing of this, so there's a hell of a lot in there to get your teeth into if you're interested in the birth of tanks, which I am, and their first uses as well in the First World War. Second thing that happened this week is down at the club we played another Strength and Honour game, getting ready for Partisan in a week from now, so there may not be a hobby update next week. We'll just see how it happens next weekend, because again I'm going to be working on Saturday, so I don't know if I'm going to get a chance to do another video. We'll see, I might do it Saturday night. But we've got a game of Strength and Honour which we'll be putting on at Partisan through the Sheffield and Rotherham Wargames Club, so do come and say hello if you're there, and it'll be great to meet a lot of people. And we have been testing out the game itself, and it is I've got it written down here, it's the Battle of Charania in 86 BC, which is actually in the rule book itself, Pontic's forces versus the Romans. I took the Romans with Gary and myself held the hill against Paul and Terry's forces of the Pontic, and we gave them an absolute drubbing. We gave them a homunculus est, which first of all fatigued them, and then the second one was enough to break their army. You'll know more about that if you play Strength and Honour, and as luck would have it, because I enjoyed the game and the second game of it so much, that I actually went and bought it. So this arrived this week. Fantastic looking set of rules, really nicely laid out. I think by Henry Hyde, maps done by Joe Bilton as well, obviously written by Mark Backhouse, published by Wrightsmith Press, and it just looks absolutely fantastic, really nicely laid out. What I'm going to do this week is I am going to do a review of it, because I've played a couple of games of it now, so I've pretty much got an idea of how the rules work, and they are simple enough to talk about at this point. When I say simple, that's not a bad thing, that's a good thing for the size of the armies, and for somebody who really has got very little interest in the ancient period from a wargaming point of view. I'm very, very enthusiastic by these. What I am going to do as well, I've also got hold of the PDF printable armies that Paul had actually got as his part of his pre-order. He sent them to me, and I've got those printed through Docs Direct. I'm waiting for them to come through on some stiff card. I'm going to laminate those, and I'm going to actually play some games of Strength and Honour just to show you how it works as well, because again I think it's such a good game that it really needs, it should be definitely one for people who are into ancients and or even just dipping their feet into the period, to be honest. And this is coming from somebody, as I say, like me, who has practically zero interest in ancient gaming. I was really very much impressed with these. I should also just say as well, service from Two Fat Lardies, absolutely fantastic. I ordered these I think on Thursday night or even Friday morning, I can't remember. It was Thursday. It must have been after Thursday, probably Friday morning, and these arrived on Saturday. Really fast service, so if you are going to buy the rules, then definitely get them through the publisher, because they'll be with you within days if you're in the UK, obviously. So yeah, that's enough about Strength and Honour at the moment. I will come back to that probably later on this week. I'll probably do a review of that to put that together for later on this week, and try and get that out for you. The other thing is just to mention again, the Storm of Steel Facebook group is still there, still waiting for you to join. If you want to go over, do a search or have a look in the description below. It'll give you the directions for the Facebook page. Just jump in there and take some photos of your stuff. And speaking of which, as I did before, here's a few photos of things that have come up this week in the group. So I'll just jump out here and I'll be back in a second. So there's some great pictures. I hope you like them. You'll see more stuff like that over on the Storm of Steel Facebook page, so do go and join that. Also like the Facebook group, you'll see more pictures like that in the group, and if you go over and like the Storm of Steel Facebook page, that would be very much appreciated as well. Also don't forget to follow me on Twitter. I post a lot of stuff, and check out the community tabs here as well on YouTube for more pictures of things as I paint them. I usually post stuff here as well regularly, frequently. So that pretty much wraps this one up. I'll just say a big thank you to all my Patreons. Please feel free to chuck in a couple of quid here and there if you like, if you want to support the channel. It's very useful, same as on Ko-fi as well, and also you can be a channel member as well here on YouTube. It all goes back towards producing more material and content of a historical wargaming nature. So I shall wrap up there and say thank you once again for watching, and I shall see you in the next video.